Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game and we are returning to our Cossack run of Master of Command. Let's see what this battlefield down here has in store for us and whether there's any good equipment. I do think we're going to take the weapon. And indeed, at least we do get some Hussar Sabres, which obviously are much better than the stuff that we do have. I also do notice that we have a couple of horses here. Let's park that for a second. I actually think what we can do is do this over here. Yeah, that's actually much better. Oh, there are more Hussar Sabres here. So yes, let's exchange all of that stuff. These are all things that we won't be using right away. So let's sort this a little bit. I do think I would like to assign the horses to some people here. And that would cost us a little bit, but let's go to this herd here, because sometimes you can break in horses there, and that of course would be very, very lovely indeed for us. So yeah, let's indeed take the good horses here. We've got a couple of Hungarian ones, these are nice, and we've got a couple of Hanoveranians. The Hanoveranians are not that great for us, but the other ones definitely are. So that does mean we are going to take a second here to see what we can do. So let's try to get that to the weakest guys, potentially. Yeah, like so. So that we've got 60, 60, 60. You now have the lowest, so that's interesting. Can we give you anything better than what we have? Stamina and move speed. I mean, the move speed is definitely nice. But yeah, we don't really have... You guys could get some horses. You know what, we're gonna pay the 50 here, and that should be a-okay. And then we might as well pay the 50 over here, so that you can get that. And we're gonna keep the rest in mind over here. We're not gonna immediately use them, or indeed not use them, because we're just gonna wait and see what we can. Right, there's a small army over here, which I would like to engage, and I say small, we are only 1,600 men. But let's first move to this city. I'm gonna briefly switch to the normal mode here so that we can gain a little bit of a better overview. Now, reservists are a little bit cheaper here, which is good to know. Let's first off sell off the stuff that we don't want, and we're gonna get over here and sell basically everything that is only for infantry and other things. I am selling all of the captured uniforms and such because, again, what are we going to do with them if they are not what we can do? Okay, apparently we can only sell so many items in one go. That's fine. Right, that does leave us with a little bit of stuff. Let's sort it like that. Okay, in the barracks, do we have anyone over here? Well, we do have the Don Cossacks. They are way too expensive, though. I would really love to take them on. We also got a couple of Russian riders. Now, these could potentially develop into dragoons. They are not my priority, but I do think it would benefit us a lot if we had a couple more units. There are also the stables, where we could indeed get more horses, including Hungarian horses, which are the best ones for us, really. The breastplates are good, but not really required, I find. The quartermaster has a couple of blanket rolls, not really that critical. The townhouse has some things that we could use, but I do think, I mean, I would love to buy these guys. They would instantly be our best unit, but I don't think that's really what we go for. So let's buy at least a normal unit here, and we're going to immediately put you into this new brigade over here, and indeed give you slightly better horses. And you know what? Why not all of them here? Yeah, we'll need better officers too, but at least it increases our unit a little bit. We are going to spend some money here on the reserves, so they're cheap, right? And the next thing, of course, is just after going to this little village here and helping everyone out, we are going to raid and burn. The headquarter has been notified. That's not good. These guys over here, I would like to take 2 notifications of the headquarter. That is really nasty. But at least we are getting some boots and some light saddles, and that is lovely indeed. I think we're going to give you the boots here right away, so that you are a little bit better. You've got saddles already. Let's generally spend sort of the 50 whenever we can. I think we're going to go to normal march over here for a second, and just take a step to the left. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be much. back to forced march, because otherwise we'd be burning money, and I don't like that. Let's go into the city and see whether we can get another officer here. That would indeed be lovely. Now, there's not that much cavalry recruitable, nor that stuff, but this here is some... So, and by this I mean officers. Right. Cover effectiveness, the charge on the Zealous is nice, but the cover effectiveness doesn't do anything, and indeed the charge is pretty much cancelled out over here, so that's not good. Right. Range at the cost of move speed, not something that I do like to see. Von Lieven, he could not be too bad for some sort of a dragoon unit. Accuracy and range is kind of nice. We've got melee and stamina. I would like him. He is okay. But we're actually going to buy the one for blank over here because honestly he's just the cheapest and that is going to be useful for us. Right, let's sell the stuff that we don't need. I would love to buy some guns. I don't think we're gonna. Anything else that we'd want to buy really? Well, at least the nice thing about the cavalry is that you have a much easier time of identifying who you can use. I think the veterancy gain would be fantastic. On the stables, some of these swords would be really, really good. Although not that great. I mean, they're more for sticking it out, and I think we want to hit hard and leave. So, potentially not. I think we're going to keep our money for now. Because we don't really need that much more. And as soon as we've got a couple of more slums, which I guess we should check out where they actually are, right? So, 1, 2... Most of them are really down there. So yeah, we do need to come down here, get rid of the slums, and then we can buy stuff much more effectively. More supplies over here at the cost of artillery, which isn't there. So, but we are gonna be able to get a couple of things once we've raided this. We're gonna get the horse grenadiers, which I think are gonna be useful. So yeah, let's raid this town. Headquarters notified again. This is really the nasty bit, because the headquarters being notified all of the time. Come on, let's raid it. Come on, I want to get the grenadiers. There we go. Okay, we've got the grenadiers. We've got a couple of things, none of which are super useful for us. But yeah, let's look at the grenadiers. So you do actually have grenades. That is funny. And you have also excellent charge. I think I like that. We're going to exchange these two guys here so that you are a little bit... you're going to get a bit more experience. And I'm thinking whether I should really make the horse grenadiers much stronger. You're not going to be able to reinforce much, but that would allow us to, for example, take these Cossacks, place them a little bit to the rear, and get more benefit that way. Okay, we're going to give you at least some alcohol. Anything else that we want to give them? Charge is 78. That is pretty good. Let's keep it a little bit more. Yeah, I do indeed believe that we should have everyone be at least somewhat capable of charging. That could be better. Your movement speed is not fantastic. So let's give you at least good horses. Because you'd be way too slow otherwise. The coffee's not good for anyone, I guess. So yeah. Okay, fine. Let's take this unit and see what we can do. So, a couple of musketeers, a couple of recruits, that should be easy. There is a field artillery, which is going to be interesting. So we'll need to... They will definitely keep in sort of a defensive formation, but I think if we can confuse them enough, and we have more units now, 50% more indeed, than we had in the last couple of battles, then I think we might be able to do something over here. Right, so let's start out with you. You're going to be somewhat like that. And then keep everyone sort of a little bit lofty around. Make sure that we are... Especially these guys, I think I would rather send to the back, so maybe they can engage some units that we can get to withdraw, that would be lovely. Okay, notice how they are bringing their cavalry a little bit to the rear there. As we'd sort of expect. The Cossacks on the right there are going to start to accelerate a little bit, as are the Russian rider recruits. And what we are going to do is get a little bit here on the right, so that we can draw out the enemy to go a little bit this way. Ooh, interesting. Seems like they might be... If we can split their forces here a little, wouldn't that be fantastic? You are running. Don't run too fast. Too far. Okay, you go for the artillery. Let's make sure that we don't present a huge target towards the artillery, and instead be a little bit more broader setting here. Okay, we are drawing out the enemy. That's good. Because we are going to hit their artillery now in the back. These guys, not sure where they're going on their left. But yeah, the Cossack cavalry here is charging in now. They've got good stamina, so that's fine. Question is, where do we want to hit them next? And I think our answer is going to be, we're going to try to hit them on the left here. Our left, that is. Right. Brilliant. Got the artillery. Got the artillery, that's fine. That's fantastic, actually. Let's try to have them run in circles, basically. Ouch. Okay, we are being hit over here. Let's try to throw grenades. I want to see whether that works. We're going to swiftly shift to the left here. See whether that is going to be useful for us. The horse grenadiers are coming in on the left here. Probably going to throw some grenades soon. The enemy has turned around now, which is not that nice. Okay, can you properly throw the grenades? I think you might need to be in the back here. Actually, otherwise that's not going to work. Come on, horse grenadiers. Ah, this is taking too long. This is taking too long. Bro! Bro, damn you. Grenade. Grenade. There we go. And bam. Everyone charge. Except for the horse grenadiers, actually. You're going to charge only when these guys are shifting their fire base. Right. These Cossacks can deal with these recruits. Okay. The units who were involved in this are a little bit exhausted, but I think that's going to be alright. It's a bit annoying how the clicking sometimes works, because you have to sort of tell them to charge very specifically, kind of. Okay, they're shattered. Lovely. Does leave 2 more units here. Right. General can go down there. These cavalry units can go down to the south, whereas everyone else is gonna wait a second here and not be too exhausted, hopefully. Hopefully no one is running. Yes, that's fine. Okay. They are shooting at us, but it is at extreme range, so I'm not too concerned about that. They are following us to the south here, so that's good, because the majority of our forces are actually behind that. Might actually be that they're going for our general here, which I like to see, because that means can hit them in the flanks and in the rear and all of that. Bam, bam, bam. And they're gone. Good. Right. I should take my Russian rider recruits and run down this unit. Whereas everyone else can come over here and do your normal. Good. Okay. We're going to accelerate time here. Quite a bit actually. So that everyone can recuperate a little bit. Get ready to hit the musketeers. Which I think are facing to the right. Like it. Don't know why the lost enemy unit always bugs out, but it kind of does. But you are hunting down the enemy. That's lovely. That should give you a good bit of experience here. Make sure these guys do not turn around after all. We're going to be placing the horse grenadiers here in the center. For the simple reason that they can throw grenades. Exactly what we're going to do. Go. Throw grenades from these horses. They're standing. They're leaving their horses there to do that. Interesting. Right. Everyone can charge, please. And that should very quickly completely shatter them as it does. Very nice. Good. Let's hope that we're going to get some good loot out of this. It's a bit difficult to do the horse only run because pretty much like 3/4 of this stuff isn't really worthwhile for us at all, except for selling it. We are at least getting the saddles here. Right, we have very much enough men, we have enough provisions, we don't really need ammo at all, so we are going to go for the veterancy boost here, especially on our light units. Yes, okay, 2 promotions there on the light riders, that's nice to see, and at least 1 promotion on the Cossacks. The Cossacks are really, really important to get to the Don Cossacks. That's so much better. How much promotion do you need? 3, so you're almost there actually. Is very 2. Melee and move speed. I think we can exchange that for this little doctrine here, which we don't need at all. Good. More of this stuff. I don't really like the movement speed reduction, but the stamina is good, and we have struggled a little bit with our stamina on some of our units, right? So let's give you that, and your natural movement speed is pretty good already. So I think it's going to be fine to do that. This stuff we're going to keep around, the gun picks. At some point we might have guns. So let's go to Force March and visit these slums, because that is something that we need to do. All encounters, all villages. We don't have the hearts and minds. I don't like spending that much money, but I do like revealing all of the encounters. Things like the herds, because the herds do potentially give us better horses, and better horses are always going to be useful for us. Now we do want to get to the slums. There's 1, 2, they are all in the south. We do need to make our way down here. We of course still want to raid, and we of course still want to engage a lot of enemy army. But I think this herd down here, I don't think we want to skip on any of the herds. I don't know that we can take on entrenched unit. Slum, slum, slum. We need at least 2 more. They're more likely over here. We could get down here. Potentially grab these guys. Tough one I think. There's probably going to be a village along this road. And it's tempting to either go over here, visit these towns, or immediately to the south. And I think we do want to get by this herd here. So let's force march our way over there. It does cost us more provisions, and we are short on them anyway. I don't think we want to go for the fortifications. Get provisions, get pelts, or leave. I think we want to get the hides. They are money, and money is generally good for us. Encampment or go on the street here and potentially engage strong enemy army there. Visit Guttstadt first. It does seem to have a lot of supplies. Not sure we need that, but right. First off, sell stuff. Especially stuff that we don't really need or can use. 140. Right, barracks. Russian provincial cavalry, Russian rider recruits. Lubyan Cossacks. Very, very expensive. Now, these are not Don Cossacks. In fact, I think they are mostly worse. They have 5 less charge. They are a little bit faster. They've got a bit more in terms of reload. They don't have that much morale. I think I would prefer the Don Cossacks. But maybe if we can get a couple of rifles, that would be good. But either way, we can't really afford them. We could, of course, afford a couple more Russian rider recruits. These are pretty much the Dragoon path. The Hussar path, I don't think that's really that great compared to the Don Cossacks. Less movement speed, less charge. But some Dragoons would be lovely. We do have a bit of money. What do we have in terms of stables? Well, horseshoes are going to be pretty good, aren't they? Okay, let's buy at least one horseshoe. We're gonna find space for that, right? Yeah, well, I think maybe hiring more people just so that we can fill that out and actually use our stuff too wouldn't be the worst idea. Blanket rolls are also very good for us, melee attrition. As are, of course, greatcoats. Greatcoats are a bit more expensive. Alcohol is generally useful. As not just in game, you know, just in general. Right, I think we're gonna use the Russian rider recruits. Let's buy that. Have a couple more units. It's an okay thing to do. Just build up units over time. We're gonna keep one space free. And then get the greatcoats. Get at least one good horseshoe. Half the Dragoon swords, the good ones. Or even more the good... Okay, we're gonna buy this stuff. These types of weapons are always gonna be useful for us, right? So yeah, we are gonna keep. And for that, I believe let's give them to the recruits here. They need to gain more experience. And then you guys, instead of the cheese, which is kind of useless, morale and stamina, we're gonna give you the goods. So that you can hit heavily. And very soon these guys will be able to promote them to Don Cossacks, so I think that is gonna be a huge shift for us. Right, that leaves us with pretty much no money, sufficient reserves, and all of the other stuff, I think, so that's fine. I think what we are gonna do then is let's see whether these guys are gonna come closer while we are raiding over here. Indeed they are, but they're gonna try to run away from us, don't they? Come on, get me good stuff. Okay, yeah, the heavy jackets I like, the rest is eh. Gonna place that on anyone? Yeah, you guys take that. Good. Okay, let's quickly try to take these guys out while they're trying to run away from us. Again, numerical superiority for them, but that's always going to be expected. Our units are so small; they're just a few hundred men. So, an interesting question is whether or not medicine stuff like herbs and so on are going to be useful for us, because we are taking a lot of casualties proportionally, but in absolute terms, I think we are. So maybe it's going to be okay. Right, the rider recruits are going to try to flank around very widely. And the rest we're going to sort of keep central. And my main objective, my first main objective, is going to be to try to get their cavalry drawn out and a little bit away from their infantry support so that we can take them out, and then in the next stage, of course, try to take out the infantry once it's again supported by the cavalry. For that reason, these guys are now running so that maybe they're not gonna get shot at by the musketeers. They have been shot, but it didn't look too bad. Okay, it looks like this cavalry unit, maybe we can bait it. Maybe we can. You know, try to go a little bit to the south. You guys continue up north. Normal speed is gonna be fine. Right, and I didn't watch what was happening here. They are indeed charging us. So let's try to countercharge with our other units. Right, hit them hard. Hopefully don't take too many casualties while you're doing that. Keep an eye on the minimap too. These battles are taking too long. I don't like that. Okay, the Russian riders can try to rack up a couple of kills. The two other guys are gonna try to withdraw from there. I do like to see this, and I do like to see that their cavalry is kind of disengaging a little bit. You guys don't need to run. You guys put a little bit north there. Stop running. Try to bait their cavalry. Try to get away from these recruits as they're firing on us. And you stop chasing them and regain your breath, basically. Looks like their cavalry is coming in. Love to see that. They're trying to go for our rider recruits here. We're gonna try to build a trap for them, just as they're coming out of the forest. Don't want to engage them in the forest. Come on, come on. Okay, Cossack cavalry, doing your thing. Wait a moment, wait a moment. Hit them. Charge. Yes, very good. Because you're not going to be facing the right way, you're going to be super flanked, and then you're going to be hit from the rear. Good. That pretty much leaves these enemy units here in the center a little bit exposed. I'd like to see. Let's come up and see what we can do. Take advantage of that. Or there's a bit of a tendency for these units to go into running mode, which is not always the best thing that they can do. Yes, of course, to charge it is a good idea. But I don't always want you to charge. You might run now. Alright, that is looking bad for them. Look at how drawn out they are. Hit them from here. Hit them from here. Hit them from all of the sides. Everyone go. Well, they got off a salvo there, but I don't think that is going to be enough to take us out. Again, our rider recruits can try to take advantage of them retreating. Our horse grenadiers are drawing these recruits away. Very good to see. Now, they're probably going to soon react to the fact that they're being flanked over here. What I dislike is that they are in the forest now. Because I think that cover does count for something. But still, easy peasy. Good. Okay. Everyone? I might have some Russian riders here, don't I? Russian rider recruits, yes. You go ahead and rack up some kills. Right, everyone else goes up here. Da-da-dum-dum-dum. Right up here. Go in the back, and they're not gonna know what's gonna hit them. Yep, we're grenading them. There we go, first grenade. Second grenade. And charge. Ah. We are taking a lot of casualties in these charges, but I do think it is worthwhile. Well, also we don't have any alternative. It's just really the only thing that we can do. Right. It's a bit funny that they're bugging out like that, but still, I think it's a... Right, a couple of Hungarian horses, that's lovely to see. The rest of the stuff is a bit Don't think we need the recruits, don't think we need anything else except for veterancy. And very lovely, our officer has their first promotion there, so that's good to see as well. Right, I believe you guys here can be promoted, so let's take the Russian recruit and get them into Russian provision. Cavalry, difference actually. So 15, 20, 5, 50. It's not a tremendous improvement, I have to say. A little bit more morale is nice, and like 3 more charge is good. But sooner or later, we need them to be better. 5, you could be promoted now, but only towards the Slobodan? Slobodian? And I want done Cossacks, so that's a no for now. Everything else is fine. We're going to take a look at the next time around. Got a couple of horses. I think you guys have all the next slot there. So really, it's only about the horse. We're going to see about that time around. For now, thank you very much for watching. Let me know. Do you think we should attack the stationary army here in the hopes of getting a good promotion? That would be fun. And there are some slums down here and some herds too, which are usually very good for us. That being said, for watching, see you next time. Bye bye.